I'm going to open the show by reading a poem by Rhonda Pearson called The Tank, a Coyotes poem. We struggle to win many games on the road or at home. It's the same, loss after loss, hopes for the number one card, a rebuild reminder for a kid named Bedard. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill, here with Steve Peters. Craig Morgan will be calling in from Mullett Arena shortly. Petey, I guess you can call this an important loss for the Tank, but maybe not a good loss for morale.
Yeah, but we should have known better. Like you back when this team was called the Mighty Ducks, you saw all the movies. You can't win. Like you just can't win because the Ducks will win the Flying V. They just win, and that's kind of what happened tonight. This is disappointing. Do you think it's a coincidence that both teams fighting for Connor Bedard started their backup goalie playing each other in this game? You think that was a coincidence?
No, but meanwhile, Stolarz was like on the verge of a shutout at one point.
Out. There's Jay. Jay, how about those Blackhawks hanging on right now?
Yeah, Jay, the Blackhawks getting severely outshot, but somehow either like leading or tied. That is the Coyotes' way, Jay.
That is unbelievable. The Blackhawks have 10 shots on goal going into the third, and it's tied 2-2 against the new Rick Tocchet branded Vancouver Canucks. This was a tough one from the start because it was one of those roller coaster first periods for the Coyotes where I thought they were fending off a mad rush by the Ducks early. And I thought they got a little momentum late in the period in the first. And then they lost all their momentum, gave up a goal, and then it kind of just went downhill from there. And it was just one that they just couldn't dig themselves out of the hole. And by the time you turned around, they were down 4-0. And this one was over. And Stolarz was just better tonight. And that was, I tell you what, that might be the best hockey he's played all season. And this team, we talked about it on the internet earlier today. This Duck team is last in goals for, last in goals against. You name a category, they're either last or close to the bottom. So you figure they're the worst team at giving up goals in the National Hockey League. They play their backup goalie. It's going to be point night for the Coyotes, but it wasn't.
PD, this was just the Ducks' 6th regulation win this season.
That's unbelievable. It was game 48 for the Ducks right now. 48. Like those are Coyote-esque numbers when you're talking about 6 regulation wins through nearly 50 games. But that goes to the point. And you talk about tanking, and Gary Bettman came out said nobody's tanking. We saw it with the players aren't. The players aren't. Like the players and coaches want to win these games. They get tired of freaking losing, and you want to win games. And you could see it by the Ducks tonight. I thought there were points in this team where you look at that Ducks skill level in that team. They've got some kids that can play, and they've got kids that can skate. I mean, that Troy Terry is. You look at Zegras, and I know he's flashy and got a lot of those things, but Troy Terry has the full package. Like he's a bigger kid now. He's matured into 25, 26 years old, and he has the speed and the skill. There's still some good players here in Anaheim, and I know they're going to unload at the trade deadline too. So we'll see what it looks like later, but they've got some good players for the future too. This could be interesting a couple of years down the road for both the Coyotes and the Ducks.
Absolutely. We got our nightly $1.99 super chat from Vaguely Sober. We appreciate you. Heart PHNX. I accept this L as a tribute for Bednar's W. Yes, you are correct.
Bednar got a win today, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I almost read that as Bedard because I just see Bedard's name everywhere I look. But yeah, you're right, PD. Just the momentum of this game, and I think especially in the start of the second period, the Coyotes get scored against on a delayed call. And usually you think, oh, that sucks, but at least the call goes away. But no.
Yeah.
Because after review, they gave Juuso Valimaki, who, by the way, signed a 1-year contract extension today. So this morning he was having a great day, probably feeling really good. He actually had a really good chance earlier in the game too. And then he got called for a 5-minute major and a game misconduct bye-bye, and the Coyotes were on the penalty kill for 5 minutes, allowed one during that time, and because they were on the penalty kill for so long, they were outshot 14-0 in the first 10 minutes of the second period.
It's funny you talk about Valimaki. Valimaki signs the contract, plays 6 minutes, gets penalized for 15 minutes, and he ends up -2. And this is not a good day for Juuso Välimäki.
Started on a high. And
started good and didn't end so good. And you know what? Part of that, you look at the penalty, and I'm going to get fined by the league. Actually, I'm not, because and they don't care and they can't find me. It starts with 2 minutes prior to the penalty that Valimaki takes. Gunther's driving the net, gets hooked. Clear hook. I thought it was a clear hook. Should have been a penalty. Wasn't. Puck comes back out into the neutral zone, and the very next rush, Valimaki gets gloves and a stick up in his face. Could have been another penalty. It's not. Valimaki at that point, the only thing he can do is he can't retaliate. I think they could have called them both, but then when the player turns his back, Valimaki, you can't take a baseball swing with a hockey stick at somebody. It's dangerous. It's a major. It's the right call. Unfortunately, if you call the rough high stick, whatever you want to call that, on the Anaheim player that pushes off against Valimaki, maybe that response doesn't happen. He sees the refs making the call. He goes, okay. He sees no penalty, so he takes a swing. So I think that might have been what precipitated it. You just see, and I'm not saying that the referees were in favor of the Ducks there, because later in the game, I thought they missed calls going the other way against Keller and Hayton too. So it happens, and it's just unfortunate, because that's how things start to build. If you miss a few calls and guys get frustrated, and that's what happened to Juuso Välimäki tonight.
Yeah, it feels like the exact same thing when Keller got ejected, how it was a missed call that led to Keller's retaliation. Yep. Yeah, and it doesn't excuse the action, but you just wonder what could have been
100%. And I would make that clear too. You're right. In both situations, Keller can't retaliate when he took the game misconduct that he took the other day. And Valimaki can't. You can't take a baseball swing at somebody. You just can't. You know what you do? You take the player's number. You hear it all the time on the broadcast. You take the player's number and you get him later. It's a long game. Like, get him later. Yeah. Get him next time you play the Ducks. You'll have your opportunity. You just can't take cheap shots like that. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and it just felt like after that hole that they got put in there was just really no coming back in this one. I will commend them for kind of having a surge in the third period, kind of led by Barrett Hayton with the goal and an assist. An unbelievable goal, a steal off a turnover, backhand, beautiful, beautiful goal. And then Petey, the Coyotes power play is alive.
They scored. First time in what? Well, that might have been the first time in January.
It was one of your keys. Let's pull up your keys, actually, because as soon as this happened, I thought, oh my God, Petey's keys. Yote has 0 power play goals in the last 6 games.
Yeah, stop Zegras. I think that they did. We should have also. He got one assist tonight, but I don't think he ran all over the Coyotes. I would think Fowler and Terry. I mean, Fowler ends up with 2 goals and an assist, so it might have been stop Fowler. So I might have screwed that one up. But they did stop.
No,
Zegras.
but you were on.
They gave him a lot of room. He gave him a point, man advantage. For their last 6 games, they've had 1 in their last 9. And they finally get a power play goal. And it was, you know what? You see Schmaltz get in on the action, and Schmaltz, we were worried he was going to leave the game when he fell awkwardly into the boards at the end of the second. So glad to see him come back and shoot. And again, for how many times we've done this, Leah, the Coyotes have over 30 shots and lose the game. So I'm going to stop saying shoot the puck, because they've only won 1. I think they're 1-7, 1-7-1. When shooting more than 30 shots on goal. 1-7-1. That's insane. So don't shoot that much, I guess. They had a problem scoring against the team that gives up the most goals in the league, and with their backup goalie. And that's too bad. They had opportunities towards the end, but it was too late. They just didn't start the first period off well. The second period, they started off poorly. Again, we talked about the penalty, and you can't keep coming from behind. You need to start on time one of these games.
Yeah, absolutely. And for how many shots on goal the Coyotes had tonight, it didn't necessarily feel like that. Like, I remember looking down at the shot totals thinking, what? Like, there's no way There's just
it
no
just
way.
buzzed up in one time it was 14, and then you look back and it's 23. You're like, huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Like in the second period, how I said they were held shotless for the first, 10 to 12 minutes of that period, and then all of a sudden they somehow managed to get 11 shots on goal. I literally don't know how that happened. But let's just look at the numbers in this one, because it's kind of the tale of two teams in the NHL who I guess aren't very good, but managed to put on a lot of shots against each other. 43 shots for the Ducks, 39 for the Coyotes. Usually that's what the Coyotes are getting against. I mean, they still had 43 against, but both power plays active. We already mentioned that. And then the penalty minutes. I mean, 27 penalty minutes for the Coyotes, just 18 in comparison to just 18 for the Ducks. Obviously, Valimaki's penalty. Brown got a 10-minute misconduct there at the end. So this was a chippy one. The penalties were just kind of piling high there.
Yeah, when you look at the power play, when you look at that Anaheim power play, good grief, there's a lot of talent out there, and they have a lot of room. For them to only get one goal on that 5-minute major was pretty impressive. And you talked about it before. They scored while the penalty was in a delay penalty before they actually blow the whistle. And unfortunately, Valimaki not only takes the penalty, and so now he's rattled because he knows he's going to get a call against him. He has to take a one-on-one versus Troy Terry. Troy Terry just goes right around him and scores the goal, which you understand, because Valimaki, all he's thinking is, I got to go to the penalty box. And so he's not really focusing on the one-on-one against Terry. He gets beat, they score, and then they score again. But it is good to see the power play score. I mean, I don't think it was the prettiest power play goal of the year. And let's give hats off to Barrett Hayton, just muscling his.
I mean, he created that play.
100%.
And Nick Schmaltz was in the right place at the right time. And that's what you always say. Pucks on net and bodies in front of the net. And you'll score. And that's exactly and that's what happened.
And Barrett Hayton was good. I thought tonight he was good.
Yeah,
I think
he was very good.
He gets 2 points, but he was good. He back checks hard, gets a stick in the lane, turns the puck over, he gets the goal on the first one. On the second play, he outmuscles the Anaheim defender in front of the net on the power play with the Schmaltz right in the right spot to give him 2 points on the night. And I thought Barrett skated well. I thought the team, we say this about the Coyotes, when they're playing well, they look fast. And I thought 10 minutes into this one, I go, gosh, I think the Ducks look faster. I think the Ducks look like the better team tonight. And when you say that, this Duck team has some skill, and if you give them a lot of open ice, they can look good. We've talked about teams that are struggling because the Coyotes have been there before. If you can get on the board and start to look like things are going to be positive, you can play better. And they're so used to playing from behind and digging themselves out that they just struggle and the game's over, and they didn't have that tonight. So they look good. I thought the Duck team, I said it in the beginning of the season, I think they got a lot of young players that are going to be good, and I didn't think they were going to be this bad.
Well, Petey, the Ducks also had many days of rest here in Arizona.
That could have been
so
bad,
let's
right?
let's not forget that. Meanwhile, the Coyotes were playing in Dallas, flying back, playing against Vegas back to back, home and away. And that whole time, Anaheim was just probably sitting, although it was kind of chilly this weekend, but they're probably out on the town,
they're still probably out.
hanging out at the hotel. Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're doing. They're sitting at the hotel going to bed early. They were near Mill Avenue, 10 minutes from Old Town. I'm pretty sure they were in bed.
They're professionals. Sure. They're professionals. Come on. So we'll see. And you know what? The interesting thing about this one is these two teams match up again this Saturday in Anaheim. So we'll get to see these two go at it again and kind of see how things shake out. I think this was an interesting first matchup of the season between the two of them. But I mean, if you're just looking at a loss for the tank, Petey, these teams are only separated by 2 points now.
That's insane. And you know what I think they should have done? I think the coaches should have got together at the end of the game and say, do you want to just, like old-time baseball, do you just want to play 2 and do the doubleheader and just go at it again and just get it over with so they can leave, have Saturday off. Let's just call it. Let's play again. Like, fine. But they don't. And they're going to be the last game played on Saturday before the All-Star break. Of course they are. They're not going to play at noon. They're not going to play at 1. They're going to play 8:30 start against these two teams. Does any of the bad blood carry over? They got a little pushing and shoving a few different times. You got the 10-minute major. You got the game misconduct. Does any of that carry over to Saturday? No, I don't think so.
I think everyone's going to just be too tired and just be ready to be done.
There will be guys leaving from Anaheim. They will stay overnight in Anaheim, fly out of LA home to Vegas, to Cancun. There's going to be no whistles, no icings, no checker. They're done. Like it's good. It's like the game before. It's like your last day of school. Nobody's doing homework. It's like these teams aren't battling for a playoff spot. They're going on break for a week from Los Angeles. Yeah, this one's going to be over in a hurry. I'll make that call.
They're not. They're not fighting
on time. Yeah, they're not fighting.
Take a three-way money line regulation win for whichever team you want in that one for sure. We gave our appreciation for Barrett Hayton. He was definitely a strong candidate for king of the game. However, he presented himself too late when we'd already made up our minds early in the night about who we wanted to crown as king, because it's an achievement you only get once in your career. And for tonight, Miloš Kelemen had his NHL debut, and that is why he is tonight's DraftKings King of the Game. That is a teeny tiny crown on his head.
Wow. I don't know if it's elite placement or if it's just that's what you get for your first NHL game. You get the mini crown.
The crown could have been bigger if he scored.
Well, I guess I'll give a quick analysis of his game. The first period, he was freaking everywhere. Like his feet were moving.
Yeah.
Might be the fastest I've ever seen him skate. Like his back checking, he was first on the forecheck. Like he was in two zones at one time, I think. I'm not sure, but I think he was in the offensive and the defensive zone at once because he was going so fast. He's trying to block shots. He was trying to do a lot. You could tell he had a lot of nervous energy. And I thought he skated well. At the end of the night, does he factor into this game at all? Probably not. He played 10 minutes. He ends up with one shot on goal. Excited for the kid to get there. His nerves are gone now, and we'll have to wait and see what the injuries are to everybody else to see if he.
I just thought it was interesting that they sent Carcone down and recalled him. Like what the thought process was behind that.
I think Craig knows. So
we'll ask Craig when he gets here, which he's on his way up. So before Craig does get here, I am really interested in how that game on Saturday is going to unfold. But like I said, take a three-way money line, book it to end in regulation right now. That's our little nugget to you. And if you want to make yourself some money on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can do so. You can bet on the NBA, the NHL. By the way, you might see some familiar faces on PHNX Bets Daily tomorrow. I'm talking me and Sean, maybe talking some hockey bets. We're the B team. Oh, just kidding. I realize now Shane's going to be there tomorrow after all. Oh, well, but maybe they'll still talk some hockey bets. Either way, lots of ways to win money on DraftKings. And with the conference championship games this weekend, there's 4 NFL teams remaining, 2 games, and only a few more shots to win big on the playoffs with the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Counting down to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code PHNX. New customers can bet $5 on the conference championship and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Petey, this was also one of those ones where I feel like I need to take an OGs after just to
bring you down a little bit.
Just to bring me down. Like we're just pushing through this week, just trying to get through to the All-Star break. Like sometimes you just need some OGs. It's been a very busy month and it's just hard to come down from it sometimes. So check out OGs. They have some unbelievable flavors. The strawberries and cream is hitting the shelves soon. I can't wait to try that. If it's anything like the blackberries and cream that I tried, it's going to be phenomenal. And as always, you can find them at your local dispensary. You must be 21 or older to enjoy. What?
Did you see Karen in the chat? Karen's not happy.
Oh, that we didn't give Hayton a crown?
Yes. We gave him
He got an honorable crown. Yeah.
Honorable crown to Barrett Hayton.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
It's okay. But now we will find out why, hopefully, why Kelemen was in the lineup. And we'll bring in Craig. Hello. Look at your camera's clean tonight. What the hell?
I know. There's some conspiracy here. I don't know what it is. I swear he's got filters. He probably got it on the internet somewhere, but
I have no filters. I don't know how to explain it. Some nights the heavens just shine upon me, I guess, in this arena. I guess that's how it works. I don't know. I just saw that the Canucks scored, by the way. They're up 3-2. That's not.
No.
Oh, 4-2. It's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Listen, they were getting just bombarded all night.
Buddy,
so
they've got 42 shots on goal right now. 42 to 12.
Yep.
42 to 12.
Happy for Taki. Gets a win in his first game in Vancouver. That'll calm the nerves a little bit. Maybe shut up the insanity up in Vancouver, between the fans and the media. Yeah, never mind. You can't shut up
the Canucks are the most chill fan. Yeah, they're the most
Yeah.
chill fan base in the NHL. Duh.
Bruce Boudreau, beloved Bruce Boudreau, the guy that couldn't wait to run out of town, and suddenly over the last week, poor
Love him.
Bruce.
They love him. In a week.
Shut
6
up.
days. 6 days.
Oh,
6 days. Oh my God, their signs bring Bruce back. What? You guys, what happened? I don't want to get, we're not getting it. Let's talk about Miloš. Let's talk about Miloš.
Miloš! Let's talk about
Craig,
Miloš.
we crowned him king, and we want to ask you, why did they send Carcone down and call up Miloš
It
Kelemen?
was at 9 games, You guys understand how this all works. You understand how you knew the answer.
I just send
to
them
that,
down
right?
where you have to clear waivers.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So there
So
it
that's where
is. And
Carcone
plus, it's not just that though. They wanted to get a look at Kelemen. I talked to Steve Potvin, and he said they really like what he's been doing. Hard on the puck. He's consistent every night. They like a lot of parts of his game. Now, this is his first NHL game, and obviously this went off the rails when Valimaki took that penalty. But, they wanted to give him a look. I figured all along at some point he was going to get a look. I wrote that story in October when Bill was talking about him probably getting an NHL look at some point. Well, here it was. We talked to him after the game, and listen, I don't, he speaks better English than I speak the other way around. So, but we asked him about those solo lap in particular, and he said the biggest focus was just not falling. He didn't want to fall and just embarrass himself. So
Yeah.
but not much else you can say about anything about this game. This was an ugly game. I didn't think they were sharp to begin with anyway. They were getting pretty badly outplayed, and then Valimaki takes that penalty, and boom, boom, it's 2 goals, and the game's over.
Yeah, tough
Any
day
update
for
on-
him. Interesting day.
On the other Coyotes defenseman, the Ghost, Shane Gosper went awkwardly into the boards on a hit. Any word?
Nothing yet. No report yet. Hopefully we'll find out something tomorrow, although I think the Coyotes are going to be off tomorrow, so we'll try and find
They
out.
might
I had
never-
as many off days
they
as
never
the Coyotes
practice.
did.
They never
Jesus
practice.
Christ.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Another
Did
off day.
Coach Cherney say anything about tonight, or just kind of upset about
Just the play.
performance?
He said that play really, he thought they were in it. They were hanging around, and that play just turned the game. It was.
It was the goal on the play and then a goal on the penalty. So it was a 2-goal swing during that play, and it's the kind of the modus operandi of this team all season. They struggle through the first, and then in the second, as the game continues, they ramp up their play and get better and better, and sometimes can come back from 2 goals down in the third. But that play swings it from a 1-goal deficit to 3, and all of a sudden the wind is just gone out of your sails. And you go, this one's going to be tough. And it literally was, if you went to the bathroom or grabbed yourself a cheese sandwich during that, it was over. I mean, it was 1-0 to 3-0.
A cheese sandwich.
But didn't you used to have cheese sandwiches when you were a kid?
I did have cheese sandwiches when I was a kid, but it's just you and me talking again. Like nobody else understands what the hell we're talking about.
The old cheese sandwich in the.
I mean, I've had a cheese sandwich, but if I'm thinking of all the snacks I would possibly eat
Not
at
that.
8 p.m., it wouldn't be that.
Wasn't that? Me either.
No.
But you don't always say what you mean. You say it just comes out. We're live. What do you want me to do? God.
Well, you're drinking too, and I've heard that
I'm drinking. Leah, hold up
I heard
yours.
somebody else involved in this show might have been drinking.
And there's hers.
From Puck Drop.
From Puck Drop.
Listen, I knew it was going to be
here
one
we
of those
go.
nights, okay? I knew it was going to be
was
one of those nights.
You gonna make it to the end of the show?
Yes, I promise. And I know that there's not a ton to talk about in this game, specifically the gameplay. We've kind of talked about everything there is to talk about, but I'm glad you're here because PD prepared a puck talk.
I did.
Really?
And if you have time, I'm going to teach. I'm going to try to do it fast because I know everybody. Leah's got. I mean, we just want to make sure she doesn't fall over during the end of the show.
I'm fine.
No, it's just all we're going to do. I'm not piling on Valimaki, but we're going to talk about just how something so subtle and so little can make a huge difference in the game from one end of the ice to the other. That this is where the Ducks win the game tonight, the first goal of the game tonight. So let's take a quick look, and we're it's about learning. And this is what you do to a player too. You teach him. You don't yell at him. You teach him. Valimaki pinches from the blue line, means he comes down from the blue line to keep the puck into the offensive zone. That's what he's supposed to do. One player is supposed to back him up. In this particular play, it's Travis Boyd is a third forward high in the zone. You back up your defenseman. Gunther is just excited. He has got his feet moving. He wants to help too. So they both go up to fill that spot. And keep in mind where Valimaki is now, because it's going to come back to haunt us later. So Valimaki pinches, two guys come, and we're ready for the next one. So what happens is they both, two forwards up high. Gunther wants to make the pass to Boyd. Well, he's skating towards Boyd. Boyd's going, wait a minute, you're coming at me. I got to go somewhere. Let's go to the next slide. Boyd goes down through the middle right when Gunther passes the puck. Otherwise, he's going to run into him. It's unfortunate because Gunther's a really good player. He could have turned backwards where there was more open ice or a lot more places for him to go as a goal scorer. Unfortunately, he turns the puck over. We talk about turning the puck over at the blue line. You can't do it because you don't have numbers. Go to the next slide. So now he turns the puck over and the Ducks are coming at a 2-on-2. And guess who's defending? Gunther. Gunther's now a defenseman. So now it's a 2-on-2 against Gunther. Go to the next one. And here's where you get in trouble. Valimaki now is trying to come back into the play. His role now is a forward. Gunther is now a defenseman. And this is where young players have mistakes. You have to put your forward hat on if you're Valimaki, your defenseman hat on if you're Gunther. It is now a 3-on-2. Play it like a 3-on-2. Next slide. Valimaki's job as a forward is to look up and see there's two Ducks going and we have two defensemen. My job as a forward is to stop. He is supposed to stop right on the middle of the ice where that letter A is in the logo on the ice. He's supposed to stop, and his man is right behind him, number 77, Vetrano, who ends up getting the goal. But he's thinking like a defenseman, and defensemen defend the front of the net. So he's got to get back and got to get back and got to get back so he can defend the front of the net. And you can see all the other Coyotes are focused on the puck carrier, which leaves all that open ice for Vetrano. Go to the next one. And that leaves Valimaki going all the way to the front of the net. Nobody takes Vetrano all by himself. 4 Coyotes defending 2 Ducks. And if you see 4 black jerseys and 2 white jerseys, that's bad. That means somebody's open. Vetrano's open. And the last slide, the puck is in, as Tyson Nash would say, the back of the net. And that's it for Petey's Puck Talk. So basically a little mistake at the front. It's not even a mistake. A little play at the front in the offensive zone of Valimaki going down creates all of the things coming back through the neutral zone and back into your own zone. So it's unfortunate, but left them all on. There you go. 1-0.
There was more in store for Juuso Välimäki in this game.
And that's why I hated to pile on, because I drew this up after the first period.
You did it before, yeah.
Uh-oh. I go, pile on, -2.
Hey, congrats on your 1 year,
the flip side. There you go.
$1 million in his pocket. Yay!
Yeah, he'll be all right.
Interesting way to celebrate. Yep.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He was showered up and gone before the game.
Besides tonight, happy for him. You know, a young guy who was picked up on waivers this offseason, getting that security, getting that money. So we'll see what he can do as he.
I was going to talk to him after the game tonight, but probably not a good night to talk to Juuso Välimäki.
No,
anyway,
probably not.
The mistakes that he made in this game.
I'm going to interject again because A-Root, which we piled on last show, especially Craig, but A-Root.
Are we piling on A-Root again?
No. You are going to, because did you hear what he said? He said grilled cheese sandwich, which I agree with. Grilled cheese sandwich, money, but what did he do with it?
Ketchup. I like ketchup.
I do too.
I like
it.
A-Root.
100%.
I'm on your side.
Chips,
we were friends for about a second, A-Root, and then you put
that's 100% what I do. A-Root, 100% ketchup.
Okay, hold on. As long as we're on grilled cheese, like, is this a basic grilled cheese? Are you still eating basic grilled cheese sandwiches? I need to ask you to do that.
But first of all, I haven't had grilled cheese in probably 2 years. But when I do, it's a 3 cheese for sure. Okay. It's a minimum of 3 cheeses.
Agreed.
Yeah. No, Leah? I do basic because I'm in my 20s living.
You don't unwrap your cheese from a wrapper, do you? You don't have cheese in a wrapper anymore. Like individually sliced pieces of cheese.
Sean is vigorously nodding his head below.
Seriously, buddy.
When I have you guys over to my house, which will be the first time I've ever invited you to my house.
For what day, Craig?
What day is that?
Aside from the well-publicized St. Patty's Day party, I will make you a grilled cheese sandwich like you've never tasted before. There it is. Wow, it's like Dr. Tung's 3D house of calendars.
Got my calendar. I got to go 6 months in advance to open up space. For
when
Craig.
I have you over, I will make you the best grilled cheese sandwich you've ever had, and you will never eat a basic grilled cheese sandwich again.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you haven't had it yet, and you're just laughing at me now. But when you come over, if I actually invite you over,
cheese, bread, and butter, you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Did you see we had a super chat?
Yeah, we did. So I want to read that actually
Leah,
on the.
Okay. That bread, cheese, and butter is like Sean
Dum
eating
Dum
cardboard waffles.
$5 super chat. Live Pug Talk. Sign me up. Love the insight. We appreciate it, PD. Why are you sighing?
Because I'm just trying to think how far ahead I have to plan to do something with Craig Morgan. Kraft
cheese. Oh,
Nick,
Craig,
that's not even cheese.
If Nick is under 30, if Nick is under 28 or 28 years old, I'll accept it. If he's over 30, I will not accept that.
Craig, to be fair, I do not unwrap a single slice of cheese. I am slightly above that. However, I am not as bougie as you when it comes to your.
I'm trying to think what kind of cheese. Goat cheese, Gruyere. Like, can you imagine one of his?
It's not Gruyere.
Nick said he's 30.
You won't be invited.
He is. Okay, he's right on that cusp. So Nick's okay. But Craig's got a blue cheese. Can you have blue cheese, grilled cheese? Craig would. Can I have a blue
I hate
cheese,
blue cheese.
No, that would not be good on a grilled cheese sandwich.
Okay, we have a $5 super chat from Roaring Fork. And he said, okay, cook a steak in a cast iron pan. Once the meat is out, throw in 2 pieces of bread and toast in the steak juice. Put ketchup on both slices and make a sandwich. Eat with a knife and a fork.
Wow.
That's fancy. I like the steak juices.
I'm just going to stick to drinking. Can you imagine how many people are tuning in for the first time going, what?
Why are we just talking about grilled cheese? Well, guess what? You're in for more food talk because we have a mystery to solve. We have.
Do you want to read some ads first?
No, this is going to be part of it.
Okay. Leah drives the bus, not you. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
I know you've both been drinking, so neither of you should be driving right now. But Leah drives the bus.
21 and over. Enjoy responsibly. There's a thief among us at PHNX. And Sean, are you able to come in right now? You can give me a thumbs up okay. Sean, we're bringing in Sean because Sean was the one who initiated this entire thing. For those listening, PD just put up his own "I'll be back" screen and left. All right, Sean, let's hear it.
Oh, God.
All right. I do want to clarify that while I was the one that brought up this mystery, I was not the one that suggested to bring it to the show. That was all Craig and Leah. So I just want to put that out there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anyways, once a month, Burrito Express provides burritos for the office. They provide a bunch of burritos and, more importantly, a bunch of salsa because it's like a perfect marriage. They're made for each other. You got to have one to have the other.
Like grilled cheese and ketchup? Just kidding.
No, I don't even get me started on that because I will veer off. That was disgusting. And
no,
also,
we will not go.
2 pieces of white bread and a Kraft single is the way grilled cheese is supposed to be made. I just want to put that out there. Anyways,
all right.
It's just
that's the way it's supposed to be. Anyways.
Oh look, Petey just lifted the curtain. Oh, look at this. This is insanity.
Oh my God.
This is insane. What is happening here?
This is big, after dark vibes.
Back on the rails. So I had a long day. I had a long day on Monday. I didn't get to eat for like most of the day. So I finished my day up at like 4, 5, 6, whatever it was. I don't remember. And I go to the fridge to go get my burrito because Burrito Express reheats surprisingly well. I actually have one in my fridge right now.
It does. I agree there.
I got steak and egg in my fridge. I'm going to eat it as soon as the show is over. Anyways, I go to get my burrito. And more importantly, I go to get my green salsa because I'm a green salsa guy. And what do I find but the big bag of salsa to be missing? It is gone somewhere. We don't know. And this is not the first time we've had issues with our Burrito Express. Famously, if you don't know, Michaela Perkins took burritos and hid them in a box of water in the mini fridge in our office so no one would find them, which is a crime against humanity, in my opinion.
She also famously will use 5 salsas for 1 burrito, when I think the max acceptable would be 2.
That is what I'm saying. I'm a strict 2 per burrito guy, but that's just me. So now we are trying to get to the bottom of who.
Yeah,
me, Shane,
I looked everywhere.
For.
Yeah, we all searched. So we have a list of suspects.
Yes.
Craig.
By the way, I'm a 3 salsa guy, so I'll say that.
Okay. Better than 5.
I've earned it at my age. Yeah.
So Craig, why don't you go through the list of suspects and explain your reasons why?
Are we going to put them up on the screen, or are we just going to talk about this here? Okay.
We're going to put them on the screen.
Let's start with the person that Sean just mentioned, because Mac is clearly a suspect here, because Mac's always a suspect for crimes like this. How can we forget the Nutter Butter crime? The Nutter Butter incident, as we call it in the office. But
she still blames on Max.
I know she's blaming it on Max, but Mac, I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of faith.
The evidence was right there. You can't deny the evidence.
It was on her desk. Yes.
There's literally an open wrapper. Yeah, an open package of Nutter Butters on her desk. So Mac is always in contention for thief in the office. Yes, we're calling this the Salsa Bandito, by the way. So Mac is the first suspect in this, but there are more suspects. There are plenty more suspects. We're gonna put the second one up here now. Jesse.
Well, I have to give important context to this, because while Mac is obviously, for obvious reasons, a suspect, at the end of the day, it was just, I believe, me, Leah, Shane, and Jesse in the office. Jesse had a burrito, and I, with about 98% positive. I'm about 98% positive that he had. No, he said he had salsa. He had 1 salsa with each of his burritos. So he did have a salsa with that second burrito that he had while only the 4 of us were there. So that's important context.
Jesse Friedman, everybody looks at him and says, "Oh, he's just a nice, innocent kid." Well, I think he uses that to his advantage. I really think he's kind of, under the radar, sneaky. So I'm throwing Jesse Friedman in the list of candidates as well for Salsa Bandito.
Yeah, completely valid. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons to suggest that it might be him.
2 more suspects.
I mean, you guys know. Yeah, there he is, Bo Brack. You guys know this story better than I. Why don't you explain why Bo is on this list?
I don't know why Bo is on the list, to be honest with you.
Either do I. You're the one who presented it.
There were a lot of accusations coming Bo's way in the Slack channel. I don't know, guys. You just go back to the Slack channel, and there's a lot of accusations coming Bo's way. There seem to be a lot of witnesses who think that Bo might be the suspect here. So I'm going to put Bo on this list. And then the final person that belongs on this list is someone who was lobbing a lot of those accusations. Derek Montilla. That belongs on this list. Wait, what's going on here? I've got a crazy echo.
I don't know.
Derek was pretty much lobbing grenades at everybody. So, the best way to throw people off the scent is by accusing multiple others, by just pointing the finger at multiple others. So I'm not convinced that Derek is not the guy either. He could be the guy. So these are our 4 suspects. We're going to have to get to the bottom of this at some point, but maybe we should open it up to the chat as well and ask what people think.
We're going to put a poll in the chat right now.
By the way, do you think Petey's joining the show again this evening, or
he might be asleep?
Is he done for the night? Okay.
Yeah, that's
just
okay.
Checking. Oh, look. What is happening on the screen? This is crazy looking.
Anyway, vote in the chat.
Okay. Hey, you're at my house.
Are we
Petey,
done?
do you have any thoughts? Who do you think is the Salsa Bandito?
You know what I have to say, Greg?
The poll is live.
H-friggin' K. HK.
Your backgrounds are killing me right now. Just killing me.
Oh man. All right. Well, we'll let the chat decide. We'll take it to Slack and we'll let everybody know. Thank you, Sean, for your firsthand testimony. And that is what we do here on PHNX when it's game. What'd you say? 48 of the season, and the Coyotes
48
lose 5-2 to the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, we gotta find a salsa bandit. Okay, that's what we gotta do. Okay. But I promise we do other cool stuff too, like talk to Bill Armstrong, like we did yesterday.
Buddy.
So If you missed our interview with Bill Armstrong, he was in studio with us, which was unbelievable. He answered so many questions on a wide variety of topics, the state of the team, different players, the trade deadline, the draft, and just told some unbelievable stories. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch. It's truly amazing. So it's on our PHNX Sports YouTube channel. You can also listen wherever you get your podcasts as well. So
did you see what Chris put up on the screen?
Yeah,
Craig?
A couple people have said it now. You know, they asked what you're hiding because you disappeared from the show.
No,
just like you disappeared from the studio very early, by the way, I might add. So
if you put my name on that list,
maybe.
Buddy.
Oh, I don't
Mason
eat that
and Paul
kind of food.
Drake.
I don't eat
Perry
that
Mason
kind of food,
Paul
Leah.
Drake would smoke like during the show. Can we smoke during the show? I don't smoke during the show.
Wait, we do just about everything else on this show.
No, I'm not. I am not the Salsa Bandito. I was long gone. Trust me, buddy. I was wheels up way before that went missing. I was home before he was left the kitchen. But you talk about the Bill Armstrong thing. That was really, really good. And honestly, thank him and the Coyotes organization for actually doing that, because he was gracious with his time. He actually came all the way down to visit our studios. I will say this, though. He's moderately impressed with our studio, by the way. He said, "Oh, this is a real thing." And we're like, yeah, it is. So he thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, he gave some great answers. I don't think he was pulling any punches. There were some good stories, and it was great. So if you haven't listened to it, I seriously urge you to, because he gave answers about Chicken, Bedard, the draft, trade deadline time. So it was a good chat. So
told great stories too, and I saw him tonight. And I told Leah this already. He asked me one question, and we'll probably have to pull these numbers at some point when we get a little farther down the line and see how Bill's appearance performs on our site. He asked me, "So did I get more viewers than the dogs?" I wanted to know if the Frenchies got better viewership.
Oh, wow. That's what you're putting. That's where the bar is set. It's at the Frenchie show.
He looked at me and I went,
Did
maybe not yet. You'll get there. You'll get there.
You'll get there. Did I beat the Frenchies?
Yeah, so definitely check out that show. Truly unbelievable. And we have another great guest coming on this week. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to have Lindsay Fry on our show live at 11 a.m. live from Four Peaks, actually our Four Peaks studio. If you want to be impressed with a studio, how about a studio at a brewery? But Lindsay's amazing. I mean, I think we all know her, but if not, get to know her better tomorrow. We'll talk skating for Leighton, the Kachinas, and women in hockey. So really can't wait to talk with Lindsay Fry tomorrow live at 11 a.m. on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely.
I tell you what, she is an amazing person, and I know she's a great hockey player and knows her hockey, but she's a better person. And what she's done for this community, for all of girls and women's hockey in the state of Arizona, is just amazing. The amount of time she puts in on her own, like it's nobody's, she's doing it, and she's giving her time, sacrificing a lot to help people in this state. So support Skating for Leighton if you can.
Yeah. Lindsay works
Absolutely.
basically three jobs. So
she does.
At least. Yeah. So it's insane what she accomplishes. Yeah. And she is an impressive.
Look at Karen and Charles are both going to Skating for Leighton, CWP.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Butter Pig will be there. So just so you know.
Yes, he will. Speaking of Frenchies. All right. Well, Craig, anything else from you before we let you go?
Nah, I'm gonna go home now, guys. But I don't
Eat
think
some
we're at the
late
bottom
night
of this
grilled
yet.
cheese.
Yeah. Well. You know what? I'm not going to invite any of you guys. You will
swear,
never try this grilled cheese sandwich.
This was Petey's goal all along, to be uninvited.
I know. Oh, shoot, I can't go.
Virtual
I just
Petey
stay
at
home.
the St. Patty's Day party.
And watch TV. I might have to have a grilled cheese after this now. I think I might, because all of this talk. I have some sourdough bread. I might have to go do it.
Ooh, yeah.
Bingo. Now that's the bread. That's the bread. That's the starting point. It is sourdough bread that I make mine on.
Real butter. Sorry if anybody's listening. It's got to be real butter, not margarine.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a very good chance I actually do this. Okay, Craig, be safe.
All right, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Leah. Petey is taking another day off.
Yep. I'm just like the Coyotes. I'm taking a day off.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right,
There's
Craig.
only 3 chairs, 3 mics.
All right. Well, is there a result in the poll? I guess I can go look. But while we're while we're determining the poll results, if you want to try yourself some of that green salsa that we were talking about, and I'm telling you, like, this is not an overreaction because the salsa is unbelievable at Burrito Express. And if you haven't tried Burrito Express yet, do. Their breakfast burritos are unbelievable. They have lunch burritos as well, like savory breakfast, all of it. It's so good. And like Sean mentioned, we get a delivery once a month. Sean, Shane, and Totri probably go to Burrito Express multiple times a week. I always see them walking in with Burrito Express. It's truly amazing. They have multiple Valley locations. And right now you can buy a $25 Burrito Express gift card and get a free burrito when you do that. So as Sean always says on ASU, give yourself a gift by buying the gift card and then giving yourself that free burrito. So head on over to your nearby Burrito Express location today. All right, I'm pulling up the poll results. I think I am. I have to vote.
I sincerely don't care, but how much are we talking about salsa? Like, is it a packet of salsa or like how much?
So it's like a little cup, like this big.
Yeah. Is that what we're talking about? Is one little cup?
No. The bag of them.
Oh.
Like we got a bag of dozens.
So we were talking about
green and the red. No.
Okay, now I get it. So this is multiple. This is a lot of salsa. Somebody's got a fridge full of salsa.
Yes.
Okay.
So the poll is still open, I believe.
So I do get the angst and the anxiety and how upset people. I do get it. I get it.
Yeah.
We need knives out all over this.
Here's the results. Mac 75% of the votes, followed by Jesse, then Derek, then Bo. So we'll have to take this to Kangaroo
I lean
Court,
towards
Petey.
Mac too. I'm sorry, but I just do.
Yeah, the previous record is there. It is. Petey, Thursday when we're in studio together, we got to do an underdog fantasy draft. It's been a while.
I'm in.
I need my confidence back in beating you because I always somehow beat you in the two person draft. But we definitely need to do that because it's seriously so much fun
ahead of time. So I'm going to prep for that.
Ooh, okay.
Slate of games.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited. I'm excited to do that. And, there's a ton going on right now with the NFL playoffs, the NBA, the NHL. You can do daily fantasy with all those. You can play the pick'em game, pick player totals, higher or lower for any sort of category you can think of. It's so fun and so easy to get started. Go to underdogfantasy.com or download the app. Sign up with the code PHNX and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. That's awesome. All right, Petey. So we got a Chicago loss in Vancouver. We got a Sharks loss in overtime, so they get a point. Montreal loss. And I guess a Coyotes loss and an Anaheim win. So it was an okay night for the tank. It could have been better. It could have been worse.
Yeah, here's a couple things. I think Montreal's going to get some wins. I think Vancouver's going to get a bump with Tocchet. So I don't think they're going to be in this mix. The teams you worry about are the four at the bottom. It's Arizona, Chicago, Columbus, and Anaheim. This Anaheim team looked good tonight, but let's be honest. They give up more goals than any team. They're going to lose a lot of hockey games. Columbus can't find the offense right now. And with the players they have, like Liney and Johnny Hockey, and they can't score, it makes absolutely no sense to me. Chicago, I still think are going to get a few more wins. I think they're going to jump over the Yotes soon. It's going to be a race to the finish. I'm telling you, because trade deadline's going to hit teams differently and harder, and this is going to be a race to the bottom. Wow. So stay tuned. Stay tuned because the Bedard sweepstakes starts right now, and these teams are racing for it. And we'll see. We'll see where it ends up. I saw a thing today on internet where they had 10 teams vying for Connor Bedard, and they actually put him in the jersey, and he looked pretty good in the Kachina. Just saying.
Just saying. I think he would look real good in the Kachina. And you know what? The Coyote schedule has certainly helped their case in this battle for the bottom. And thank God, thank the Lord that we only have 2 games left. 2 games left before the All-Star break. Let's look at the upcoming schedule.
We almost made this.
I couldn't even believe it. 2 games. Thursday against St. Louis, who probably will be coming in upset after playing at Sean's Buffalo Sabres and kind of having a tough start there. And then back to Anaheim, the Coyotes go. And then a whole beautiful full week off of games. And I think every single person is going to need it. Everyone. 15 games in 26 days. It's
crazy. That pace was insane. And they're back on a plane on Friday. You look at the St. Louis Blues, they're getting guys back from injury right now. Tarasenko, I think, was going to play tonight, but they've been battling injuries and problems all season. So we'll see how, like you said, they're mad and they're coming into the Mullett. So look out for that one. They're a big, heavy team too. So that could be trouble. The Ducks, we saw what the Ducks could do. And this, like we said, it's going to be like spring break. Guys are going to be ready to go. There will be guys with suitcases in the locker room. Not a joke, with ready to go somewhere else. So they might not get a win here. And then for the whole week off, Leah, are we doing anything special next week?
We're going to have still live shows 5 days a week.
We are? Don't we can we record 5 shows like tomorrow and just play them and like change our clothes and no one will know? I think we're taking a trip though. You and I, we might take a trip.
We are. Petey and I are going to take a trip down the I-10 and check in what's been going on in Tucson.
Steve Potvin and the Tucson Roadrunners. So it's good to do a checkup with them, see how they're doing at the midway point of the NHL season, see how they're doing, and see who's hot, who's not, and see what's going down on the farm down at Tucson. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to be a fun week. Just kind of give us a breath to catch up on a lot of stuff that we haven't even been able to talk about just with this insane schedule. So I'm looking forward to that week off from, no games at night. Let's just all catch up, but we'll be here live every day on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe so you never miss a show. And on that note, let's take a look at the punch card. PD, we are so close-ish.
A step closer to Nashville. Oh boy. And we can imagine how many times, let's say this, and I know everybody wants to go home and go to bed. Can you imagine how many times that I am going to say, boy, howdy, in Nashville after about a dozen beers? Like I'm going to be boy howdy and like you have nobody's business. DP and I are going to get our cowboy hats at stop number 1 in Nashville, and we're going to wear the hell out of those things for the entire week. And there's going to be tons of boy howdies going on. Just I'm warning everybody.
we need to get the boy howdy side, the boy howdy counter,
the boy howdy meter. Oh, I might get a T-shirt that says boy howdy on
that one can be sponsored by.
We need a Cody the Coyote with a PHNX logo that says boy howdy for the Nashville trip, and I will wear it for 4 straight days. Okay,
love it. Love it. I can't wait for that. And yeah, that trip will definitely be fueled by a lot of beers. And of course, we'll be drinking 4 Peaks, because what else would we drink? And we will be at 4 Peaks tomorrow for 4 Peaks Last Wednesdays, which is one of my favorite days of the month. So if you're off tomorrow, if you have the chance to take a lunch and swing by, if you're able to work remotely and bring your laptop to 4 Peaks, we would love to see you at Last Wednesdays. We'll be out there all day at the A Street Pub tomorrow, January 25th. All of our shows will be live and in person throughout the day. Enjoy $3 beer specials and come say hi to us. It's going to be a lot of fun. And while you're in Tempe, swing by Illegal Pete's. I mean, I can't say enough about how much I love Illegal Pete's, the queso, the chips, the bowls, the bar, the margaritas. It's unbelievable. It's super close to 4 Peaks as well. So if you haven't tried Illegal Pete's, definitely check them out. I love Illegal Pete's so much. I actually just can't say enough. And you can, if you have dietary restrictions, it's really easy to work around with their menu. So it's just a lot of fun. It's our go-to spot, and stay tuned, hopefully, for some events there coming up soon with us. So looking forward to that. All right, PD, any final thoughts before we head out
real
tonight?
Quick, Valimaki, go cash that check, because let's get your mind back on hockey. Today it wasn't, and that's okay. We all understand. Barrett Hayton was the star of the game, and let's get ready for the St. Louis Blues on Thursday.
Absolutely.
And the next race is just starting outside Leah's apartment, as you could hear.
Yeah, I had an ambulance go by.
I know we heard a lot.
Street racers. I was trying to mute.
A lot of people don't know your street racers because you're getting better at muting, but you do have a lot of street racers outside of you.
There are a lot of people who like to be heard on the street in their
It's a tough one, but it's great for the tank. And like I said, by the time the draft rolls around, no one's going to give a shit that they lost the game tonight. So get over it. We're sorry.
Exactly.
But when they're picking high in the draft, that's going to be a much more memorable moment than tonight's loss on I don't even know what day of the week it is. Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday. And I saw a tweet. It was like, I'd rather have a loss tonight for 10 years of winning, and I think that was just 100%. A good reminder, like a really good Toronto, reminder.
Check. Lose the rest. Check. Okay.
Check with a handful to go. So thank you all so much.
Did you hear what Vaguely Sober just said? Can DP come back on the screen, or is his friend still there?
I don't know.
Vaguely Sober said?
No.
Oh, see, you can't see Sean. We can see Sean. Sean had his little kitten
on his lap.
It was on his lap, and now it's gone.
And I don't know if you heard my cat screaming at the start of the show, but she just wanted her to be heard. But anywho, we appreciate you. I know you're good. We appreciate you all so much for tuning in, for being here in the chat. Like this video if you're watching live or after the fact, wherever you listen to audio. Like, subscribe, leave us a review, whether you're on Apple or Spotify. It really, really helps us, and we appreciate it immensely. Be sure to subscribe to PHNX Sports on YouTube. We got a jam-packed day tomorrow. All of our shows back to back live from Four Peaks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we'll have Lindsay Fry with us right up first thing at 11. So tune into that. We can't wait for that one. And follow PHNX Sports across all social platforms. If you do, you might see an awesome reel or TikTok featuring Bill Armstrong from yesterday. That's up on Instagram and TikTok right now. I know, Petey, you're really in the TikTok game. But
am I in TikTok?
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I missed it.
You're good.
Okay.
And in the meantime, you can follow all of us on Twitter at @SPetersHockey, at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan, at Sean_DePaz, and you can follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you all. And as Roaring Fork said, see you all in 12 hours.